Hey guys, Metaphysical Mama, don't mind me do. How's everybody doing? Doing the do. So I just wanted to pop on real quick because, because that's what I do. And, I just got I always have messages. It's just when to present them or when I'm able to pop on. And, so anyhow, we have the journey, number 29. Which we can also, right, vibrations of 2 and 9. 9 is divine, right? There's an invisible 1, -1 equals 8. Infinite 8, don't be late. So let's read this and then we'll go from there. And transformations, I'm going to read a little out of my Sacred Wisdom of the Native Americans book. It's a fun, I love this book. And I have some notes that I had written down like a long time ago while channeling, so I might pop through those a little bit because those, I got them in my hand, so there's a reason. So how are you guys all doing? Death and rebirth, huh? 144. What a chore, huh? I just wrote a little poem too. So goat guns. Lucifer shines high in the sky. The shadow that's cast is a fallen disguise or false disguise. In the center is the heart. Heads or tails, and then the 0 with the line, right? Like false start. Time and space folded in half. Now you see 0. Cash, 222. The cash cow. Over. And then Dorothy and poppies, right? And I, Poppy. I. So poppies, like in Wizard of Oz, are used to put people to sleep, right? Opiates actually put like a rubber seal between the synapses of the brain and the central nervous system along the spine that should be connecting and speaking with one another. So when people are addicted or on painkillers, opiates, something to numb the pain, right? PTSD, any kind of pill formation, really. And I'm not saying don't I'm not doctor's advice, no doctor, I'm not a doctor like that. So always speak to your, do some, if you're on something, don't just take what I'm saying and oh, that's what, yeah. So it's like if you are on that and have decided to be on something like that, right, there's a way to get off of it, right? Transform yourself and to starting to love ourselves, right? The journey and beauty way, right? Learning to love and accept ourselves in a more kinder and gentler way, right? Look, and the giveaway, so that we're not running around like will, right? Goodwill, thinking we have goodwill or using will, right, in order to, right, give ourselves away, give pieces of ourselves away. My friend and I were just talking about this, right, it's like best intentions pave the road to hell. So although we have a good intention in our heart, if we're trying too hard to get to a certain goal, or we're expecting some kind of reprieve, some kind of, right, if we have an expectation, whether that is emotional, energetic, mental, material, right, there's an expectation. So we're just starting to we're going to take a look at those little tiny things that we do so unconsciously, and we just whoop, right? So we're just becoming a little more consciously aware. This is what awakening is, right? Transformation, right? So it doesn't necessarily, right? It's like this doesn't have to be so harsh and what have you, right? If one is willing, right? If you're willing, then you're already putting in effort, and that's already opening space to allow you more time. See how this works? And what is time and space? Those are two father and son entities. Father, time, and space. Right, we have space family. Let's see what we pull. Actually, I have these other cards here too, right? These are such great cards. They're like, which, I can't find the top. I'm like, what's the name of them? I don't know. These were given to me by, oh, here they are. I'm like, where'd the top go? Keys to Happiness. I don't pull this out too often. It's a really cool deck. So let's see what we have. What wants to present itself to us? And it's Tuesday presently. The Earth Dragon, the Earth family. Oh, and more Earth family. The Stone Ring. And these things were built before the pyramids. The Air family. Free falling. And that had cloud form, just like the thumbnail. The Air family. Now, what's a cloud? What sits above the firmament? The firmament. Firmament. Yeah, me, bitty. Mini, bitty, bee, bibbity, babbity, boo. What above the firmament, right? An energy travels up our body, mixes with our saltwater body, which is a semiconductor, right? Causes our mercury to rise, temperature gauge goes up, and in the head space, right, electrical currents rise up, and feelings, mercury, and thoughts get mixed up and come out the temple, right? Or while we're thinking and thinking, what arises? We produce clouds. So the clouds, the formation of the clouds sits above our heads, correct? And God's throne is heaven. And not to be right, so God's, right, of course, a porcelain throne, passion's fire, right? It's like kind of like the toilet. Ooh, space dragon. There's space. The space family, see? Right? The universal father. Now we have the sky father, right? So we have the breath of life, and we need to use our breath in order to calm the energies that go on within and under our chest, right? Also within the head and the mind is over the matter, right? Material matter. 9/11. Rhymey time. I have no herb with me today. That is such a rarity. Just my American spirit. So yeah, so the breath of life, right? The Holy Spirit is the breath. The Logos was with the Father. Right? Now the land before time. The ring of water. And space dragon again. right? The land, what was in the land before time. I got an iced latte with oat milk. Not goat milk, oat milk. So funny, so funny. Ha 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 ha. All right, so let's read the journey. So the journey is an invitation to step outside the boundaries of your life as you know it. And I did a little short earlier and pulled into the unknown. I forget what they all were, but like cause and effect, tolerance was in there. So right, yeah, stepping into the unknown, right, as we know it, stepping out of what we know into the unknown. The journey is not a holiday. It is a call to be hermit-like and to go on a pilgrimage to the other person, place, or thing to then govern and oversee us because we're not willing or able to do such ourselves, right? Just to allow time and space for processing, right? Allow time to be fluid, allow Father time to be fluid. That's the amniotic sac. And allow space to breathe. The Logos was with God. So space should be with Holy Spirit so that time can be fluid. Right? So by using our breath, 1221, and coming into true north, our inner compass, this is where we find, right, resonation of truth, right? Invest in your treasure chest. Don't allow another to influence you, right? If someone else wants to invest in you or sees something in you that's shiny, or that they could probably, right, profit off of also and is excited, that's it's not that that's necessarily bad. Again, best intentions pave the road to hell. However, we're learning to be a little more choosy, so to speak, in what we engage in. We don't have to just say yes to the dress, get engaged, get married, and jump right in. Wait a minute. Got a bunch of bitches running around with beards. Metaphors. I don't care how you are or what you dress or whatever. It's like, I'll dress up and go with you anywhere. I don't care. What am I? It's like, as long as we're right, it's like, come as you are. Right? Sometimes we feel like just wearing black and like a hood. Sometimes we feel like wearing more like, right, being more attractive and standing out more. Sometimes we feel like being more like hermit-like in our shell and not being as noticed, right? So how we're feeling, the different colors and vibrations of the rainbow that our soul goes through, which is different than emotional energy in motion, right? That brings up feelings or empathy, right? Those are three different things, three different mamas, and one of them mamas got some balls. Balls to the wall, to the windows, to the walls. All right, I digress. Right, so the journey is not a holiday. It's a call to be hermit-like and go on a pilgrimage into the unknown. There are no maps on the territory that you will be exploring. No marked paths or road signs. So no one that's going to be able to help you or give you directions where you need to go, right? Your true north compass. Remember like Johnny Depp in Pirates of the Caribbean? He has that compass only he can use. Well, you have that compass only you can use. I have that compass only I can use. If I follow someone else's directions, I'm going to end up in the wrong place. I'm not going to be in my true north. I'm following someone else's North Star or someone else's, right? I'm getting led, right? Turning lead to gold, getting led down the wrong path. I'm getting led the wrong way. I'm getting misled. So it doesn't mean I'm bad, they're bad, right? A lot of the time it's like, we don't want to be alone. I need help. Please come with me. Da, 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 right? Right? But although I walk in the valley of the shadow of death, I shall fear no evil, because the shadow is just a shadow cast like a fishing line from, right, the sun. And what's the sun? We all have our own shadow too. So don't get scared because someone else is casting their shadow upon you or projecting or influencing or wants to invest in your chest. Get the fuck out of here, booty digger. Right? The pirate's booty. That's another word. Parlay. I call parlay. Anyhow, so, right? Playing with words, right? Playing with our food, right? Food for thought. And every thought we have produces a magnetic, positive and negative, or a negative, right? It's going to produce both. If we go with one, there's an equal and the opposite on the other side. So to acknowledge that we have both going on, just because we chose to go down line, right, timeline A, doesn't mean that timeline B doesn't exist. And then there's always a C and a D, right? Trying to pirate the booty. He sees you when you're sleeping. Watch out for that D behind you. You know what I'm saying? I ain't playing. There's a saying, get behind me, and then you cover your ass. And your crown chakra too, sassafras. Holy, holy, holy. This journey is not a holy day. Get away from my holes. Zero entry, no entry. Zip. Exhibit A. Take a look at my zipples. Remember Austin Powers? Not don't look at my zipples. Anyhow, where I'm going. Where am I going? Here we go. Told you, no marked paths or road signs. We're being fluid with time. And Father Time likes to laugh. Let me just let y'all know. You know, you get that jolly old mother effer fucking laughing, and there up he goes. So don't allow, right, depression, nasty thoughts to sink us to the bottom of the well or to the ocean, right? And stay down there where Satan dwells, right? No, no, no. As soon as, like in Mary Poppins, when they go into that house and they have tea with I can't even think of his name right now. I got Burt Reynolds, Andy Griffith. What the hell's his name? Dick Van Dyke and Mary Poppins. And they go to like have a tea party and they're laughing and as with the uncle. And when they laugh, ha 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 ha, they float up in the air. Right? Or like Peter Pan, right? Pixie dust. Or like, right? Every time you don't believe in a fairy dies. Right? So it's like you have to believe, right? And use your imagination and have good thoughts and things, right? Because if we're negative Nellies and we have stinking thinking, then what are we producing? But Lincoln logs, right? Winkin. Lincoln. What is your house built out of? And then too, right? Every line is a tube. Think pipeline, right? Or polar plunge. I had this morning, right? And I'm like, polar plunge in the penguins, polar plunge into the cold, or plunge a toilet. This never gets old. Clearing the pipelines. 1, 2, 3. Hear what I'm saying? Is you down with me? My dad's a plumber. And I think my other papa's a penguin. Mr. Papa's penguins. And then penguins, right? The male, they look like a tuxedo, black and white, yin and yang. The male stays with the egg, right? And a penguin is a bird that does not fly, right? They don't fly, right? They slide on their bellies. I know that. um, so again, right, getting in touch with the animal kingdom so we can have more recognition of ourselves, because it doesn't mean, oh, that we are that animal, but it's like, wait a minute, I have certain traits or qualities that it's like, okay, then that may make more sense. Why am I that way? There's, right, animal kingdom that my spirit animals are connected to, that I'm connected with, right? It's like, okay, wait a second. So when we start to look into the behaviorism or how things mate, how things are produced, right? The matriarch and the patriarch, or right, do they lay eggs? Do they give birth? Right? I watched that clip from Nemo this morning. Remember when Marlin meets Crush on the tour, he's like, dude. And he's like, lets the little, right, his little turtle gets like down the stream. And Marlin, Nemo's father's like, oh my gosh, right? Best intention. He wanted to go save the little turtle that got flung down the, and right? And Crush was like, hold on, dude. Let's say, what did he call him? Little spit. Let's see what little whatever does. What do you call him? I forget the name he called him and I was like, oh, anyway, but right, so he's like, let's see what little sput does or whatever. And then so he ends up being fine and he swims back and he's like, Dad, did you see what I did? Did you see what I did? And he's so excited, right? Because he got sucked down the thing and he like came back and he made it back. And his father trusted him to do so. And he's like, all right, dude. Right. And then he's like, give me some fin, right? Noggin, dude. It's like me and my sister's favorite part from that movie. I sent it to her too. I love you, Erica. And so, you know, it's like trusting our seeds, trusting, putting a little faith and trust in ourselves, in the seeds that we've planted, whether they're in thought, what we've, right, put out, right? If we feel that we've put things out that aren't so positive, we can't go, like they just put, right, they're trying to fight with abortion laws. We can't go abort what's already been planted, right? Like that. And I'm not for or against abortion, whatever, in any way. I'm just bringing the relative concept to the narratives that get put out. So when narratives get put out into the public, to the public, I look a little bit deeper into them and totally in an abstract point of view. And it's like, okay, why is that narrative getting put out? And what's a repeat, right? Put the needle on the record. What's a repeat? And what are we trying to prevent? And then you got to think like an archon, because it's like, okay, if somebody's putting out news and like, it's like, all right, so we're putting out the curriculum for the week for the kids. We're putting out, right? What are we going to have them focus on this week? What do we want to see them work on? What do we, right? It's like the teachers and the principals of the school, and they all have different, right? That's like the stars that we see in the zodiac and above, right? So that's like the controllers are the ones that have been given certain responsibilities, right? So with responsibility comes great power, and with great power comes great responsibility. So I have to be accountable. So that's like the watchers, but who's watching the watchers, right? We all are. We're all watching one another in some point or another. So it's like in order to, because right, we let our kids go to school and there's a curriculum, but if our kids tell us something what's going on, it's like, okay, well, wait, hold on, what's going on with that teacher, or what's going on with that, right, priest? What's going on with that, cheerleading coach? What's going on, right, with that person that's in an authoritative position, and what are they doing, right? Doctor, any doctrine, etc., right? Any. Any. So it's just a matter of, right, we can be in that position and then looking out and, right, at others, and then we can also be the one that's being looked upon, right? Like my friend and I were just talking about as being like an example, like, right? Why do we have to be the example, right? And it's like, well, sometimes, right, the black sheep or the oldest child or the only child is made to be the example because that's what we were born into. We can't change that, right? We can only go through what we're going through, and then, right, with understanding and respect, knowing that we're all carrying different elementals, different amounts of, right, cosmic energy within our physical vessel, and it's going to affect us all different. So our language that we use, right, we get upset by the meanings and the attachments that we emotionally have to these names, these words, this language we speak and think that we've programmed ourselves to know, right? So now we're allowing that to become more fluid too. So, right, allowing the words to change into a picture and to speak to us. Each word, allow a word to be a picture and then allow it to float a little bit. Allow it to present itself in more forms and colors and varying degrees rather than just taking the first fruit, right, off of the trees, right? We don't want to just grab and pick, right? Think it's not good, walk away, and oh, we found out it's good, and now we want to go back. No, 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 no. That's like Orpheus and Eurydice, and Hades is like, ain't no going back. And if you go back, whatever you go back for, right, is just gonna disappear. It's just gonna fade away. If you try to go grab it, it's just gonna. What's that other? There's like a mythology with, and I think is it Zeus punished one of the, is it Titans or one of the, say, lesser gods for lusting after his wife or lusting after something or someone. So it's like he was like stuck in like a water hole, and there's like a branch of fruit, and the branch is like right here, and he can almost get it, and it's like every time he almost gets it, it moves a little farther away. So, right, how annoying, right? So if there's something that someone's lusting, right, temptation, lusting after, wanting, desire, all disease come from the gut, right? And that's like fire with no wood, which ain't no good. Right? We want to have wood inside, right? We carry our cross, but our cross is within, right? And be very wary of wormwood, right? Having bitter waters within. So if we're carrying bitterness or resentment, right, or a grudge, or, right, or again coming from a place of like hope, and hope isn't bad, but hope was in Pandora's box. Hope is a sin. So if you rely on hope, that's like sitting in a waiting room. I hope I'm gonna get, I hope they like me. I hope they pick me. I hope, right? So that's like sitting and waiting. And it's like, well, I can do this for now, but I'm still gonna hope that this comes. Or I hope that they're gonna. So that's attaching ourselves to something else in waiting with an expectation that one day. So we're looking at our cup as half empty rather than I am half full, right? Speaking of which, okay, so let's see the invitation for the journey. The time to embark on the great journey is here. Do not linger in the port. I was just saying that. Don't rely on hope and expectations and be waiting in the waiting room. It doesn't mean you have to jump on things either, though. It just means, right, peace, be still. With your breath, use your breath to calm down the energy, the emotional body, and the energy in your chest so that your God within doesn't go cuckoo for Cocoa Puffs and become a motherfucking djinn. Hmm? All right. And then somebody else finds you outside and calls you God and then wants to keep rubbing one out and making wishes. Huh? And then calling themselves, right? That's the I. I said too much. All right. Do not linger in the port when distant shores are calling. Fearlessly draw your own navigational charts as you discover the route. When the time is right, and you'll know it, right? Divine timing resonates right here. It's like, oop, wisdom is like, right? Like, think of jump rope, like double dutch, or like when you're supposed to jump in, right? Like, when do you jump in? It's timing. It's like, when do I get in, right? When am I gonna, right? Jump, 2, 3, in. It's not like, oh, I know all the rules and this is how it goes. No, you have to jump in into the rhythm, right, of the flow and not get tripped up, right? But we all do, right? We all make mistakes. I'm definitely not the best double dutcher. I try to always jump. Like, I need help. Anybody wants to help me learn that, I'd love that. I'll trade you personal training lessons or something. I'll braid, well, my hair looks a mess right now. I'll braid your hair. But right, so even trades, like having fun together, right? Coming like a child, right? And having sex, having sacred energy exchanges, right? Sacred. Meaning I'm not looking for anything from you, but for both of us to get what we need in this now moment. And that's it. So you don't walk away feeling slighted. So I don't walk away feeling slighted, right? Like one of us just kind of tugged plucked a feather or took a hair or snagged something energetically, or like I owe you, or now I have to do something because we, right, got together. Right now I owe you. Right now I have to feel obligated to you, or you're gonna make me feel bad if I don't. Then I'm not going to come with you next time or whatever. Or now if I have to go with somebody else, you're going to get upset because it's like, whoa, whoa, whoa. Oof. If you were in your okayness and were able to balance time and space for processing, you wouldn't feel that way. And we do all feel that way. It's like, hey, how come you don't want to be with me? Of course, we're all going to feel that. But again, that's our first fruit, 33 on the nose. So that first fruit ain't of no good. We're going to feel like, aw, man, I just got duped again. That's Cain and Adam and Eve. And those three together ain't no good when they're running around outside of the tree. Again, right? Eve is the feeling, Adam is the thought, and Cain is the Mercury that comes up, right? Rises up to the top, pop, and comes out. Now we have three running around in the garden, right? And then there's Set, right? The sun watching them all. Dun, 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 dun. All right, let's see. Fearlessly draw on your own navigational charts as you discover the route. When the time is right, as it is now, you will be led true. Even when you are not sure of where you are going, it is the departure that is most important, right? Get the fuck out of where you need to get out of. Let go of what no longer serves you, right? Call back your energy from all places that it need not be and bring it back to you, right? Free of anything that doesn't belong naturally, right? And whatever's not needed, we just let go and allow it to transmute into free energy. And we just said it, so it's so. And that's it. Again, it's like breath. Breathe in, breathe out, right? Then it comes back. Breathe in, breathe out. Or whatever comes out of me, this is karma. So if I bounce a ball against a wall, it's going to come bouncing back, right? All right, so let's see. The departure is the most important. If you miss the boat, a great opportunity will be lost, right? Don't get stuck on stupid. I have to keep telling myself that constantly too, because it's like I'm so right, nice, and I care, and it's like, well, I'm just waiting for them to, or da da da. I was like, motherfucker, what am I waiting for? They ain't waiting for me. They ain't waiting for me. And if I have anything to say, give it away, give it away, give it away now, right? If I'm gonna just give things away, they're gonna be like, okay, cool, thanks, and leave. So don't just keep giving free meals away, right? Don't throw pearls to swine. And it's a big lesson I have to keep learning all the mother infant time. Seriously. Oh, but it's like, again, I was saying yesterday in a video I did yesterday, it's like we shouldn't have to feel that way, right? So, but that is what it is right now. So, and also it's a lesson for us to learn to respect, honor, and care for ourselves and love ourselves more than we're looking for it from someone else or another person, place, or thing, right? If I just had that job, if I just lived there, if I just had this, if it would, right? The mixing and trying to make things, and right, then it would be, and then it would be, no. Right now it is. How is it right now? How is your state of being? Think the words country, city, state. And then who are the people in your neighborhood? City, town, right? State of being, right? Your emotional state. What state of consciousness are you in? What brain waves do you mostly vibrate in? Alpha, beta, right? Gamma, theta, zeta, right? Delta. Right, we all have, right, like people that are called, say, autistic, or on, right, the rainbow spectrum. Well, what brain waves are they normally vibrating in? Their normal probably isn't in the, right, say, alpha wave. It's more in a beta wave, and I'd have to look into that, into, like, right, so, well, obviously, it's like they travel through, I guess, maybe actually all of them, they're able to, because it's in more the central cerebral cortex, so able to see the different colors of the rainbow, right? Asperger's too, um, which can also seem very disassociated. But it's because, right, it's being connected with nature and spirit and all things. So when another person, place, or thing outside of that being is like, look over here, this is what it is, it's like, no, it's not. It's like everything's in motion and moving and blending. So they're able to see in these more colorful, blendy, artistic, creative ways, right? Waves. Brain waves, right? Currents, waves. Everything's waves. So when we understand our people more, then we're not going to be so hard on one another and keep judging and pointing and telling other people what they need to take and that they're wrong or something's wrong with them or that they need to do or take this in order to fit in or be of a certain vibration, right? That's like, okay, so then just keep buying like Kraft macaroni and cheese boxes, right, with powdered fake cheese. It's the bee's knees, and you can have all the same that you want. We're not a product on a shelf, right? We're a living, vibrating, multidimensional, spiritual light being. How many light years does it take for a star to travel? What are you? Aren't you a person made up of the stars, that same things that cosmic dust is made out of, which we call our periodic elemental chart, the periodic table. And how many elements do they not even have awareness of, or what they do? It's like still try. It's like if I throw something out the window and a bird finds it, they're finding what I threw out, and then they're taking it apart to dissect what it's made of, right? So it doesn't mean that they then that or they, right? You're discovering something, but that still doesn't explain in depth where it came from, what it is, what its like purpose in many different multiple forms is and does, and right, and who and what it vibrates with, right, most harmoniously. Right, people trying to pick things apart and make it be and figure it out, and then it be, and then ooh wee, right? It's like, that's right, trial and error, and nothing bad with that, science, right? However, right, allowing the information to come in is a much kinder, gentler way. And once you learn to have more trust, right, have that faith and start to see the synchronicities, then divine timing is working with you, and you start to know again when and when not to jump in as often. Doesn't mean we're always going to do it right, right? Of course not. We just have a little more awareness. Like, oh, oh, I see. I ain't falling for that one again. All right, so the medicine is the journey is calling you, but the timing is premature. Collecting postcards or fantasies of where you want to go may take over your focus and make you miss your destiny. Other things must be completed first, or you may still be attached to knowing the destination, right? Thinking you know where you're going. This is how it is. I got to go to work. I got to take care of the kids. I got to make the money. I got to make it go. I gotta, right? It's like block, wall, instead of going with the flow. And that's being dragged around by Satan and his henchmen, being under, like, say, devil's control, because that's coming from a fearful place instead of trusting the navigational compass within, right? Your own navigation system. God wrote your constitution on your heart. So your constitution is on your heart. You know who you are, right? When it's time or not time. Is it premature? Should you wait? It's okay to wait. It's like, is it not, man, it's not time to do that. Yeah, all right, well, ain't not gonna happen bad by waiting. Other people may want to rush you into it too. Did you make a decision? Do you know what you're doing? Did you make that call? You should really. Thank you so much for your care and consideration. I'll have to take a look at that. I'm allowing time and space to process right now. Thank you. Are you rushing? Are you Russian? Are you a Russian? Are you trying to fight with your sons? You know, Ukraine is the sons of Russia. So are we rushing around? They need more money for weapons to shoot their sons down? What? Yeah, we the people should work real hard for that. And everybody's like, I can't believe what's going on. Wait, hold on a minute. We have more power when we're not coming from that place of giving the power away and believing the bullshit that's being thrown out. And we don't need to fight in that manner. And I'm not saying I'm not sensitive to what's going on, because I don't follow it all. It's just, again, I operate in metaphysicals and parables and metaphors. And again, when a story gets put out, right? And U and K, UK, U represents universe. Universe is inside of you, meaning one. K, a lot of things that are changed were changed from a C to a K in our language. From feminine with a curve, right, to a line with an angle. 4441. Star Spangle. So, right, so relax, I'm playing. I can feel some of them, they're like, relax, breathe. And again, so, right, so hold on a second. I pissed somebody off. I pissed some entity off just there, just now. It's like they're gonna. So don't forget too. We're gonna better be pissed off than pissed on, I should say. um. So, but you know, some need the urine therapy too, energetically. You rang. So, again, just being a little more, I'm just teasing her. I'm playing, like, you know, I can be a little, I can be a little much. That's why they love me. I get a rise out of them. They don't know whether to take me out or love me and hug me. I'm like, just keep your distance. All right. All right. Other things must be completed first, or you may still be attached to knowing the destination. You don't want to end up at that destination. I said the other day, and I was like, I want to, what did I say, permanent vacation. And my friends are like, you don't want that. Don't want. I was like, well, you're right. I didn't mean it like that. See, it's like, but unconsciously, it's like, oh, I was like, you're right. I definitely don't. No, I have too much fun. Whether it's right, positive, negative, or indifferent, it's like, hey, right, because I'm aware it's like it's only a month. We're gonna get through it. We are gonna get through it, no matter what. Right? Have that point of view. It's like, I don't know how, but we're gonna do it. However we need to get through it, and that's it. I don't have to know all the answers. I don't have to know how. I don't have to know the directions. Like they said, there ain't gonna be no road signs or directions or map. And that's okay. This is where we let go. It's like, all right, I trust that, right, we're all holding, again, different amounts of energy, and some of it's fucked up, but some of it, again, the other parts of it are things that we've learned to carry us through these times, right, in space of need. So we have to trust the flow as we go. And it's like, and when we don't, right, that feeling, it's like, it's like that, trust that too. And it's like, I just don't have to jump into that. I'm just gonna let that, like, I'm just gonna leave that alone right now. I gotta do nothing with that. That's it. And if it comes back around, maybe it'll come back with a little more growth, and then we can see a little more fruition from that stem. And it's like, oh, okay, now I can do something with that, right? But otherwise, it's like, just let it be. It's like you're just getting to see it again. What happened with that seed you planted, or with somebody or something else? It's coming back. It's like, all right, now we just take a look at it and see what's going. Do we have to do anything? Do we have to water it? Do we need to give any assistance, right? Do we have to nurture it in any manner or way? Or is the best thing to let it go and let it grow? And have a nice day. Sometimes no touching is best, right? Silence is golden. I need not say more, right? You know the rest, right? And look, silver tongue devil. So anything that we're speaking is double slit tongue. We're spitting out silver, right? So doesn't that mean that we also, right, shit gold, right? Heaven is God's throne. Is a toilet not called a porcelain throne? Right? Right, so it's like, gotta be funny with the things, because it's true too, right? And then shit also is fertilizer for the grounds, right? The land, Lord, the Lord. So the Lord cares for the grounds, helps things, right? Tends to, nurtures and helps things grow. That's the same as an archon. Same thing, right? Now you know. If you didn't already, now you do. All right. And what's an archon? Right? Arc is like a back bend going backwards. So that's going against your own grain, against your own cross, your own compass thin, and the bone shouldn't break that way, right? So it's arched, the arc, rainbow bridge going backwards, looking upside down. Okay. And that gets nastier too. That can get nasty into like say sexual innuendos, right? Which I don't even want to. It's like what I've had to, whatever. Some of them enact it, but what I've had to see is like, yo, just have some more respect for yourself. Pretty. I don't know when they say holy, holy, holy. Baby, this arc saying holy, holy, holy. You know. Mom is the word. All right. Hey, no judgment. Hey, you know, how'd that work out? How's it working? It's like how many bath tubs, dirty bathtubs are you hanging to, you know, how much dirty bath water do you have in your waters? Right? That's why it's like, right, mixing with is like a, say, put it this way, right? A reptilian like bird. So it's like bird. If a bird lays eggs and a human or something touches, or another animal touches the bird's nest, the bird's not going to go back to its eggs because now it smells, right? It's like they could smell that something else has touched their eggs, and they're like, that's not mine anymore. That's they it's now it's like ruined. It's like it just got pissed on. So they'll abandon their unborn and their home, their nest, because someone else touched it, right? Are you picking up what I'm dishing out? So when we come from feelings of jealousy and envy and greed and wanting what someone else has, right? It looks better on the other side of the fence. The grass is always greener over there. Rabbit proof fence, you know, and then wonder why afterwards, right? It's like, well, if you have other stuff all mixed up with you and you're carrying it around and then trying to present yourself as pure, it's like, we smell you. We see the dirt that you're carrying in your aura and within your chakras. That is the coolest fucking helmet ever. he got, he got like a mohawk helmet on, but it's like it looks like nails for spikes for like a mohawk. The top of the helmet's head. That shit is fucking awesome. Sorry about all the swears, Yakub's YouTube. Okay. Remember, the point of your journey is not the destination. It's who you will become as you are transformed along the way. Do not confuse the inner and the outer journey. That's what's up. Transformations, the beauty way. And I'm just gonna, this is an Alcoholics AA book, Alcoholics Anonymous book, as Bill sees it. And Bill and Bob, and just to clearly state also, again, like alcoholism is a behavioral disease. It's a spiritual disease. So when ones are coming from the feelings of lack, and again, trying to manipulate, if I did this, then that will be, and if I had that, then this will be, and I just hope and wish that they would see, right? That's that kind of alcoholic behavior and mental mayhem that produces, right, schisms, codependency nation. And we don't want to be codependent or concerned. We want to have discernment. We want to discern, right? The Hydro Collider, right? We don't need to smash things together, right? Smash Brothers, in order to find what we're looking for. There is a kinder, gentler way. All right, so what I opened to is the answer in the mirror, and it's on page 225, so I'm going to share this with you. So while drinking, which just means while in our insanity, while under wet noodle brain, while thinking I know the destination, right? Right. While drinking, we were certain that our intelligence, right? So man thinks that the intellect is very, right? is going to run everything. That our intelligence, backed by willpower, could rightly control our inner lives and guarantee us success in the world around us. This brave philosophy, wherein each man played God, sounded good in the speaking, but it still had to meet the acid test. How well did it actually work? One good look in the mirror was answer enough. My spiritual awakening was electrically sudden and absolutely convincing. At once, I became a part, if only a tiny part, of a cosmos that was ruled by justice and love in the person of God. That's right to fuck on. Specks of cosmic dust, in God we trust. No matter what had been the consequences of my own willfulness and ignorance, or those of my fellow travelers on earth, this was still the truth. Such was the new and positive assurance, and this has never left me. And I can completely vouch for that. And you know, a lot of people look down on, right, an addict or an alcoholic or someone that, again, is called a letter name. They have something, say, wrong with them. They're not in the normal, right, mainstream, right? That's really important, because it's like you try so hard to use intellect and will, and we keep beating ourselves up because then we don't feel good enough. So it's a constant battle then between the mind, between the intellect, what's going on in the head, that then clouds the mind, right? And then the emotional body, which is female, feminine. So if the intellect, the father, is constantly fighting with the daughter, the emotional body, the mother's constantly getting trampled over. The heart chakra, where the divine feminine sits. It's constantly either getting ignored or trampled over. Because it got confused, right, with emotional body, where the heart's at. Right, the heart chakra is right here. It comes from that true north point, that compass. Human heart's over here, thump, 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 thump. Right? This is an organ. This had to grow. Right? Within the womb of my mother, right? The amniotic fluid. Say it ain't so. Right? So our organs grow first, and they all have a certain frequency and vibration, and each organ is connected to an emotion of the body. Each emotion is connected to an organ of the body. So that's like Set and Nephthys. And then we have the heart chakra, which is green and blue and opens like lotus flower, right? Same as Christ consciousness does when in full bloom. Before Christ consciousness is developed, though, it can look and be very schizophrenic, crazy, because that's 144,000 consciousnesses. And if you do 4 and 1 in the middle and 4, right? My forefathers, if there's 4 fathers, well, then there's 4 on the other side, seen or unseen. But then don't forget about the monkey in the middle, right? Which could be like Jekyll and Hyde, or the mother, and say daughter, or right, whatever. Right, so we don't want to forget what's going on in the middle, right? The father and the sun, which is the navel, the belly, solar plexus, and the heart chakra. Right. All right, so on that note, I love you guys so much. I so appreciate you coming to hang out with me. I don't want to make this too much longer than an hour. So I'm going to come back on and read about transformations out of the wisdom, sacred wisdom of the Native Americans book. And until next time, I hope you enjoyed. And, just keep swimming and sparking up those light codes and allowing the right synapses of the brain, right? The brain is programmed to receive, it's like a sponge. So we want to allow the brain to receive what it needs from the cosmic rays, right? And then the central sun, and allow it to travel through the central nervous system that'll then ignite, right? The kundalini. And then we're rising, right? The triple helix, there's actually 5 strands of DNA. So as we go through, right, cosmic revelations, etc., we keep tangling and right, allowing what's wrapped up and coiled within the spine to unravel, right? So we have more fluidity, right? And that's how we play with time. So I see you next time. Speaking of which, later, like, subscribe, and hit the bell, please, and share. Later, Vibe Tribe.